So glass aquariums and enclosures are a pretty popular option when you're housing your reptile or amphibian, kind of like these. There are other types of housing, for example, like large plastic tubs, which I think I might compare the two in the future because some are really good for certain animals, some are better than others, and all the stuff like that. But today I want to focus on the glass aquariums and enclosures because I think overall they do look nicer since it's a lot easier to see through, and overall it doesn't look like some cheap tub, even if that is better for certain species. But they are very manageable, even if they are sometimes a bit more difficult. But let's talk about saving money with them because they get a bit pricey. If you go to popular pet stores, you're gonna find them for pretty expensive usually. Sometimes you can save money at these. The reptile branded ones are always more expensive, generally because they have the latchable top, which is very nice. It's not required because you can get different types of cheaper latches, but that is the first thing that's really going to bring the price up. But the first way is to save money is to not actually go for the ones that are branded for reptiles and go for the ones that are more for aquariums. It's a little weird because the aquariums are actually able to hold water while reptile branded ones are not strong enough to, so you would kind of think that they'd be more expensive, but they are not. I guess because they are more simple to make. Now the lids are actually pretty expensive sometimes. If you get them brand new, they might be for like a 20-gallon long. They might be between $15 and $30. So sometimes as much as the enclosure itself. But these are pretty important if you have an animal that can climb or potentially escape. Or if you have animals on the outside or in your room that you don't want to get into the enclosure. However, you can find this stuff for pretty cheap. Firstly, by seeking out sales at the pet stores. Whether you want to support certain stores is up to you because we've talked about that, but stores do have $1 per gallon sales somewhat often, I think a few times a year for me, where it's $1 per gallon. So a 20-gallon enclosure is $20, a 100-gallon enclosure is $100, when usually these would be quite a bit more expensive. Now, like I just mentioned, the screens are very expensive. They do not do sales on those, so they're still going to be pretty expensive. So these sales are pretty nice sometimes. I do end up saving money with them occasionally, but a great thing to do is to consider looking for enclosures that have already been used. You can try and seek out yard sales because people often get rid of their old aquariums, which they probably kept like a goldfish they won at the fair for like 2 months. Sizes of course will vary a lot. I've seen usually between 5 and 20-gallon enclosures at different sorts of yard sales. We can also look at different site listings like Craigslist or Kajabi, and you can find different thrift stores and stuff like that. When I've gone to the different like thrift stores and not pawn shops, what are they called? I guess just thrift stores. They're usually a bit damaged, but they're potentially still usable. Whether it's large aquariums that are like super dirty and super messed up for like $5 or $10, it might be worth it because you can usually clean these up. Even if it has cracks in the glass, you can potentially fix these to where they're completely safe for the animal. It probably still can't hold water, so if you're looking for something aquatic, this might not work. But even if there are different chips or damages, it's possible that they're fixable and worth your money that you're saving. Also, if you are at yard sales or looking on Craigslist and different sites, you can potentially get them to go down even lower, and then you can just go pick it up for them for pretty cheap. I've even found some for free. I think like 3 of my enclosures, they were just listed for free. Someone had them, they were all gross and dusty and old. I think they kept hamsters in them or something. So they took some pretty intensive cleaning, which I'm going to be doing a video on that hopefully soon, but it does give me more space to keep more reptiles when I do that. Another place to look, which I've probably gotten the most of mine from, is free enclosures with your animals. If you're thinking of getting an animal, I did a video on where to get reptiles. However, if you find different herps that need rehoming, it's possible they'll include all of the enclosures and supplies with you, or with the animal that you're getting. For example, my corn snake, he came with a 20-gallon and a spare 40-gallon that they had, so I got twice the enclosures and 1 animal, so that was an extra thing for something else. Then when I got my turtle, he had his pool along with another 20-gallon enclosure. So right there, that's 3 enclosures, or 4 enclosures including the pool, completely for free, just because I took their animals for them. This always has risks like we've talked about. Your animals, if you're just getting them from random people, who knows what condition they're in or how they feel around people. So there's that risk, but that's completely different. But if you are looking and comfortable with getting an animal that's being rehomed, maybe you should try and find them that actually come with the enclosures or other supplies. Another option, it works, whether it's legal in your area or not. There's dumpster diving. Pet stores do have to throw away anything that is at all damaged, and even if it's returned, they might have to toss it then, and sometimes employees just throw them in the garbage so that they can go get it after work, which I've heard a lot of. However, if you beat the employees to it, and making sure it is legal, because I don't want to be responsible, checking different dumpsters of different pet stores safely can potentially get you some enclosures. In my dumpster diving video, we found one 5-gallon, so not a huge find. However, if you check back at these often, you might find them. The one that we found, the glass on the side was chipping, so I think we taped it up or something, and it was still perfectly usable, but it's kind of understandable where the pet store wouldn't sell that. Why don't they put it up for free? Well, I know that kind of irritates us because they're just getting rid of it and throwing it away, but I guess that's how some businesses work. But if you want to go the more sketchy and slightly less safe route, that is an option for you. So these have been some of the places that I have found that you can get enclosures for cheaper. Whether you want to search in dumpsters, go to thrift stores, go to yard sales, check online on different listings, find animals that come with free stuff, or just find sales. Hopefully this can help you out if you do want to save money on these, because they can get kind of expensive. Let me know where else you know that you can get enclosures for cheaper, because I like having more enclosures. And together we can all be nice and cheap and save money so we can spend it on more animals. But that'll be it for this video. I'm Alex, and thanks for watching.